We are going to look at some basics of reading musical notation. You might have come across written music that looks like this, or like this, or more complicated piano music that might look like this, or even like this. Unless you've grown up reading music and it makes sense to you already, it can be confusing. It's true that lots of musicians do make a living without being able to read music at all, but there's no denying that it's a very useful skill. And at Key Stage 3, you are going to find some simple skills in reading music very helpful. We're going to do it in a simple way that can be fun too. Let's start with this example. Here we have 4 notes and they are each 1 beat long. They are called crotchets. When we read rhythms together in class, we use the word do for a crotchet, like this. So reading this rhythm aloud, we would say do, 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 do. In this example, you'll see a different symbol. This is also 1 beat long, but this symbol means a silence or a rest. To mark this out in class when we are speaking the rhythms, we use a clap. So this rhythm would go like this: do, do, do. Let's look at another type of note. This one is clear or not filled in and is called a minim. It lasts for 2 beats, so we make a longer sound, do. So this whole rhythm would sound like this: do, do, do. Here's another kind of note. Most people have seen this type before somewhere, even if they're not sure what it means. On its own, this kind of note looks like this, with a little tail, and it's called a quaver. It's half a beat long, and because we often get more than 1 quaver together as they're so short, we join them up in pairs, as you can see. We say do-day. So for the whole rhythm here, we would say do-day do, do-day do. It's worth pointing out here that quavers can also be grouped in 4s like this, especially if there are lots of them, as it makes it easier to read. This doesn't change their length, so here we would say do-day do-day do, do. Just like other notes, quavers have their own rests too. They look like this. If you remember from earlier, crotchet rests look like this, and for the quaver rest we add a clap like before, but it helps to say whichever part of the do-day has the rest silently in your head too. Here the do has the rest and the day is still there, so we would say for this whole rhythm, do-day, day, do. The last type of note we're going to look at for now is this one. Sometimes we get 3 quavers grouped together with a little 3 across the top. This shows us that 3 quavers need to be fitted into 1 beat instead of 2, and it's called a triplet. We use the word doppity. All 3 syllables of that word need to be the same length, so make sure your do and your pi and your t are all equal like this, doppity. As you'll remember from earlier, we also have here a crotchet, which is 1 beat or do, and a minim, which is 2 beats or do. So the whole rhythm would sound like this: do, doppity, do.